Everyone. Now we can go. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order on April 7th. This is Independent School District 832, the Mahtomedi Public School District, and this is a special board meeting. Roll call of attendance, please. Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion? Moved by Kevin. Do I have a second? Seconded by Julie. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Action items. We will now move to the approval of bids for OH Anderson ventilation project. And it'll start with you, Jeff. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for everybody coming in here this morning. So we opened bids last Thursday. 2 o'clock, I think, was the official time that contractors had to have their bid information in. We've sent you the bid tab. We had a number of, so with that bid tab, you'd see some additions, some our alternate deducts. We put that in place just in case bids didn't come in where we wanted them to. Couple adds, one we're going to have the board, we're going to have you approve. But in any case, the bid results were very favorable. So what we were looking for this part of the package, this is the kind of big stuff with this project. So our number was 6.2 that we wanted. I was hoping, man, we got to be there, maybe a little bit less. So what we're asking you to approve with the alternate, Gene or maybe Matt can come up and talk about the alternate or the add alternate. So we're asking you to approve $5,170,630. So again, you have the bid tab. Every one of these contractors was the low bid. So we're not excluding any low bidders. So the low bid for each one of these areas are the contractors that we're selecting. Gene and Matt qualified these contractors, make sure they understood the scope and can meet timelines, etc. So I think with that, so you've got the bid tab. Any questions or comments, concerns? Yeah, Gene, you want
to? So you just touched on it as far as the timeline piece, and I think we've identified and talked about this in the past meetings, is just how key and crucial it is that this get done in a timely fashion so we don't interrupt student learning at OHA. I'm assuming, again, we're very comfortable that we can do this.
I would say I'm comfortable. I don't know that I'd say very. So I think, Gene, and you probably comment on that. So the qualification of the bidders, I mean, that was a lot of discussion you had with these bidders that they can actually get material here. So, Gene, you.
So what we did, one of the qualifying questions that I asked each individual low bidder to begin with there was, are you aware of the substantial completion time? And substantial completion means, in my book, substantial completion means beneficial use of the space. In other words, we can turn it over. Adam can go have his staff clean the rooms and they can start moving in. All of them understood that date and accepted that they understand what it is and can meet that date. I'm not going to try to pull anything over on you to say that there are equipment concerns. However, as you may or may not be aware, we took advantage of some equipment that we knew was long lead items, and we pre-purchased that equipment, some air handlers, as well as the chiller, and for electrical, some main switch gear, 2 pieces, one of a 480 volt, one of a 208 volt, 2 different systems, and also a transformer. with that, I'm extremely confident we'll make the dates.
So can you just elaborate a little more on the timeline? So I'm guessing by ordering those, meaning you mean that you'll have those in stock already? And then when do you expect the project to start and end?
Okay, so the equipment that we bought, we actually have the transformer on site. It's actually at this building in storage somewhere. I don't know exactly where he put it. Oh, okay, in the shop here. And the panel boards for electrical are the last week of July. The air handling units that we pre-ordered, I'm trying to think. I think they were the last week of June, weren't it? Last week of June. Yeah, and that was the latest one. We have the one that's a rooftop unit. That's the latest one, and that's the last week of June. And basically what we were hoping for and our drop dead date is we'd have it by, let's say, second or third week of July for sure, so that we could put it. But all the work inside the school will be done, and it'll just be a matter of hooking up the mechanical systems to the air handler once in place, and it'll all be completed ahead of time. So when the air handlers come in, boom, we'll put them in place and we'll hook right up to it.
So the work can begin before.
Oh, absolutely.
So what
Will.
dates are you expecting it to end and begin and end by?
Be starting the work officially on June 19th, was it? The 11th, 13th, thank you, 13th. I had the 19th of August as the substantial completion date. I knew there was a 19 in there.
August 19th, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Our
thank you.
substantial completion date.
Okay, thank you. Kelly?
I just had one question when looking through the materials that, all of the lowest bidders essentially, and that's fantastic that the numbers came in lower than maybe anticipated. And is there any concern over these companies don't really mean a whole lot to me? When I look at their names, I don't know their reputations or anything. Is there any concern with any of the companies? The lowest price being fantastic, but as far as reputation or completing the job?
I have a great answer for you, and that is an excellent question. The answer is, for the most part, I handpicked the companies we sent out bids to. We did make sure that we did the advertisement correct in the paper, and we made sure that was all legally correct. But then essentially what I did is I went out to contractors that I've worked with before, or my company has worked with before and have had excellent results, and that's who we bid. As you look down the list, our company has worked with Crans for the last 10 years. Cool Air, I've personally worked with on 5 different projects. Last 3 years, maybe 4 years. Choice Electric, I worked with last year on Shakopee, fantastic to work with. Humeritech, I've worked with, and our company has worked with for the last 10 years. And SMB is somebody we've also worked with. I think I've worked with them every year for the last, I would say, at least 10 years. So I'm very confident in their abilities to make sure that get it done in time and will provide fair work, quality work.
I would just add to that, Kelly, that I'm always concerned with that because in this public bidding process, it's low bidder. And it's really, really difficult to not take the low bidder. Done that a couple of times and it's not anything you want to do. So that's where they're qualifying these people is really important that, yep, we know they're low bidders, but they're also really good contractors that they've had experience with.
Sure. Remind me, I think the total project scope was about 8.6 million, right?
Yep.
So with this bid, about 5.1, I'm assuming there's some more to be bid out for the project?
Yeah, well, so it's some of the equipment that we did a bid on some of the equipment things that Gene was talking about. Got project costs. We have Adam and Gene are trying to get, so part of the project costs, we need a moving company. I think we've got bids right now or quotes, nothing we've accepted, range from 50,000 to 100. So we're trying to, okay, where should that number really be? we have that. We most likely will pay staff to box up all the materials in their room, so I'll have that cost. And maybe to really get to your answer, so there's about a $1.4 million with all the other project costs, about a $1.4 million, we'll call it contingency at this point, so.
You're confident that we'll be
Yeah,
coming in, hit our number or below.
yeah, oh, for sure. Yep.
And the entire project scope will be in that number.
Yeah, great. So like all those, the mover, the paying staff for boxing, all of that, I want to take out of the bond fund. So, and then if we get to the point where we're in really good shape, maybe some of my time comes out of the general fund, goes against bonds. So, and that's legitimate that we can do Adam's time. So that's why you're always happy when these bids come in. Yeah, right.
Weren't there some purchases of filter, that's not the right word, the air handler, cleaner, ionizers or something? Is that going to be into this as well? Okay, and how much is that likely to cost?
The equipment itself is around 54,000 and labor is about 14,000, so about $68,000 to install in the other buildings. Mhm. And it's encompassed in the budget. So sitting in really good shape. Very pleased. I mean, it's an extremely volatile environment, as we were talking. Superintendent Dufferin and I a little bit. We've had projects that have been significantly over, and this is just a really nice surprise. So
All the environment of inflation, this is a rarity, I would say. I was incredulous when I saw it. So
part of it is geography. The fact that you're in the metro area and you have plenty of contractors, I think certainly helps. Outstate certainly isn't as fortunate right now, but that, and I would say the foresight and your willingness to go out for the advanced equipment bid package certainly was, a good strategy. That's something that typically, in past environments, we don't necessarily always do it that way because you include it with the contractor's bid package. But with this environment and knowing that lead times were an issue, it was a strategy that certainly paid off.
My question was Kevin's question. So
Sorry about
that's
that,
fine.
Julie.
It's fine.
Yeah, so thank you, Jeff, because you brought that strategy forward to get us where we're at. So thank you. Any other questions? All right, then we need to take a vote on this. Do I have a motion for approval of bids for OH Anderson ventilation project?
So moved.
second,
Moved by Julie, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion?
Again, just thank you for the professional job that you did bidding it out and the pre-planning.
Then
Teamwork.
then we'll say thank you to the whole team.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
Certainly is a team.
like to thank, the administration, the board for your trust and working relationship. We're enjoying our work together and looking forward to implementing this project and also delivering the assessment on the other buildings, which is something that we did, those high level assessments as we were looking at this project, but we're getting more granular and we'll be delivering that this spring. So looking forward to that continued relationship, and thank you again for your trust and partnership.
All right, then we'll move to the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. And that's all we have. Do I have a motion for adjournment? By Kelly,
Second.
seconded by Paul. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.